Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar Kadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and his unbegotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashko Holy tongue, and I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of this recent news article from finance.yahoo.com. And as of March the 11th, 2026 at 3:03 p.m., updated on Wednesday. And it reads from yahoofinance.com. As we've been seeing, the tension heating up between Iran and the United States over there in the Western Asia and over there in the Persian Gulf. And, as we've been saying, oil prices have been going up because of the war between Iran and Israel and Iran and the United States, especially over there in Western Asia, the Persian Gulf, the Gulf region, in that region over there. And it says stock markets today, Dow Jones and S&P 500 slipped for the second day as the oil jumps as Iran war rages on. It says the U.S. stocks were mixed on Wednesday as the investors eyed developments in the Iran war, assessed with the latest inflation report. I believe the inflation report was like 2.4% last time I checked. It says which came in the line of the expectations. It says the tech-heavy NASDAQ composite traded with the above flat line, while the S&P 500 lost 0.1%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 0.6%. I believe that was 289 or 284 in that range, or 250 points. At the stocks closed Tuesday's volatile sessions, little change. It says worries about the knockoff effects from the Iranian war has dominated markets this week, spurring of oil markets volatile that has evaporated through the stocks. Crude prices rose amid reports that 3 vessels came under fire in the Strait of Hormuz on Wednesday morning as the Iranian war continues to menace Mississippi. The futures for West Texas and immortality and the Brent BZEQF crude gain trading above $87 and $89 a barrel respectively. It says what will crude oil CLT settle at in March? Meanwhile, the International Energy Agency said that it will release 400 million barrels of oil from reserves to ease the supply crush and put the brakes on a roaring oil rally that briefly lifted prices up to $120 per barrel on Monday, the agency's largest ever emergency oil release in history. Bring up that Jeremiah. So as this war rages on, at 441 to call Halal Yahweh Shemashah. So as we continue to see this war rages on between Iran and the United States and Iran is Defense Force, and the tensions are heating up over there in the Strait of Hormuz, in the Persian Gulf, in that region, as oil prices continue to go up, even though they release 400 million in a barrel of emergency oil release. I believe they said this is the largest in the history because the oil prices kept on going up, been jumping up, bouncing up, the oil prices. Because I believe it was a news article like 2 days ago. You had a oil price over there in California was like $6 or $7, close to even $8. Jeremiah 51 verse 9. It says we would have healed. We start at verse 7. Jeremiah 51 verse 7. It says Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations shall drunk with wine. Therefore the nations are mad. Right, so the nations are mad at her economically. With these this oil and these economics and global economics, that's what we're seeing. Jeremiah 51 verse 8. Babylon suddenly fall and destroyed. How for her take bond for her pain and so that she may be healed. Right, it's not going to heal economically and globally and economically, especially economically. With these inflations, oil prices going up. The prices are going up with living, and stuff like that. So prices going up for the everyday consumer, especially with the gas prices. Even though they released that emergency oil, I believe this is the largest release in history. Jeremiah 51 verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsaking her, let us go at once his own country, for her judgments reach the heavens and skies. So there's no healing for Babylon economically. We're seeing signs of that. So this was just a sit down lesson of this recent news article as the war continues to rage on over there in the Persian Gulf and over there in Western Asia as the tensions are heating up between Iran and the United States of that Strait of Hormuz of importing, exporting, what you call that, supplies and goods, importing, exporting, especially with the oil as well too, as prices of the gas continue to rise, even though they're trying to find ways to ease it. Because you got Nero 47 talking about this is a short term of prices are going up. Now you had a warning from Iran. They were saying that if they're going to continue to block the Strait of Hormuz, that's going to potentially affect the global economy and the blockchain from having supplies being imported, exported, especially with the oil and stuff like that. So I believe it's a news article like yesterday said the United States they had targeted like a couple of mine makers that's been deployed over there in that region, which was scored by the United States as Iran continued to threaten them about that. They continue to make blockage of the Strait over there, Hormuz. So that's going to kind of affect globally economy and with the oil. So this war between Iran and the United States, especially with this oil, is going to continue to increase. So, I just want to add a side note to that. Because, the markets for the past week and a half, almost 2 weeks, with this war been going on between Iran and the United States, that have been kind of affecting, gas prices are going up and stuff like that. And that kind of affect the markets as well, too, even though it's been up and down, especially for the past 2 days, that been affecting the markets, with this oil to continue to rise. It says, so hopefully this was edifying. As I mentioned once again, I just want to add a side note to that. A 444 call Holar Yahabashmasha. So this was just a sit down lesson of this recent news article from finance.yahoo.com. And it reads, stock markets today, Dow Jones and S&P 500 slips for the second day as the oil jumps as Iran war rages on. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Akakadash, and the Heavenly Father, chief name is Yahweh, and his unbegotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Balash Kodash, the Holy Tongue. And I said, Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim Ma'akwaf, to the next time I would say Shalom.